नमस्ते दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका अरिस्ने टेक चैनल पर। आज हम सीखने जा रहे हैं पाइथन का एक पूरा कोर्स, जिसमें हम शुरुआत से लेकर इंटरव्यू तक की तैयारी करेंगे, सिर्फ 30 मिनट में। अगर आप पाइथन सीखना चाहते हैं या इंटरव्यू की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, तो यह वीडियो आपके लिए एकदम परफेक्ट है। चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Python is a popular programming language. It was created by Guido van Rossum and released in 1991. It is used for web development, server-side, software development, mathematics, system scripting. Why Python? Python works on different platforms: Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, etc. Python has a simple syntax similar to the English language. Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines than some other programming languages. Python runs on an interpreter system, meaning that code can be executed as soon as it is written. This means that prototyping can be very quick. Python can be treated in a procedural way, an object-oriented way, or a functional way. How to install Python? Many PCs and Macs will have Python already installed. To check if you have Python installed on a Windows PC, search in the start bar for Python or run the following on the command line: cmd.x. Python Quick Start. Python is an interpreted programming language. This means that as a developer you write Python, py, files in a text editor and then put those files into the Python interpreter to be executed. Let's write our first Python file, called hello.py, which can be done in any text editor. Simple as that. Save your file. Open your command line, navigate to the directory where you saved your file, and run. Python syntax. As we learned in the previous page, Python syntax can be executed by writing directly in the command line, or by creating a Python file on the server, using the py file extension, and running it in the command line. Python comments can be used to explain Python code. Comments can be used to make the code more readable. Comments can be used to prevent execution when testing code. Creating a comment starts with a hash, and Python will ignore them. #this is a comment. Comments can be placed at the end of a line, and Python will ignore the rest of the line. Python variables. Variables are containers for storing data values. Creating variables. Python has no command for declaring a variable. A variable is created the moment you first assign a value to it. Variables do not need to be declared with any particular type, and can even change type after they have been set. Example: Python variable names. A variable can have a short name, like x and y, or a more descriptive name, age, car name, total_volume. Rules for Python variables. A variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. A variable name cannot start with a number. A variable name can only contain alphanumeric characters and underscores, A to Z, 0 to 9, and underscore. Variable names are case sensitive. Age and age are three different variables. A variable name cannot be any of the Python keywords. Python variables assign multiple values. Python allows you to assign values to multiple variables in one line. Note: make sure the number of variables matches the number of values, or else you will get an error. One value to multiple variables, and you can assign the same value to multiple variables in one line. Output variables. The Python print function is often used to output variables. In the print function, you output multiple variables, separated by a comma. You can also use the jor operator to output multiple variables. Notice the space character after Python and is. Without them the result would be Python is awesome. For numbers, the jor character works as a mathematical operator. Example: x equals 5, y equals 10, print x jor y. In the print function, when you try to combine a string and a number with the jor operator, Python will give you an error. Example: x equals 5, y equals John, print x jor y. The best way to output multiple variables in the print function is to separate them with commas, which even support different data types. Python operators. Operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. In the example below, we use the jor operator to add together two values. Python divides the operators in the following groups: arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, identity operators, membership operators, bitwise operators. Python comparison operators. Comparison operators are used to compare two values. Python logical operators. Logical operators are used to combine conditional statements. Python identity operators. Identity operators are used to compare the objects, not if they are equal, but if they are actually the same object, with the same memory location. Python lists. Lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Lists are one of four built-in data types in Python used to store collections of data, the other three a tuple, set, and dictionary, all with different qualities and usage. Lists are created using square brackets. Python access list items. List items are indexed and you can access them by referring to the index number. Negative indexing. Negative indexing means start from the end. -1 refers to the last item, -2 refers to the second last item, etc. Insert items. To insert a list item at a specified index, use the insert method. The insert method inserts an item at the specified index. Python remove list items. The remove method removes the specified item. Change a range of item values. To change the value of items within a specific range, define a list with the new values, and refer to the range of index numbers where you want to insert the new values. Python add list items. Append items. To add an item to the end of the list, use the append method. Range of indexes. You can specify a range of indexes by specifying where to start and where to end the range. When specifying a range, the return value will be a new list with the specified items. Range of negative indexes. Specify negative indexes if you want to start the search from the end of the list. Change item value. To change the value of a specific item, refer to the index number. Python tuples. Tuples are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Tuple is one of four built-in data types in Python used to store collections of data, the other three are list, set, and dictionary, all with different qualities and usage. A tuple is a collection which is ordered and unchangeable. Tuples are written with round brackets. Python sets. Sets are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Set is one of four built-in data types in Python used to store collections of data, the other three are list, tuple, and dictionary, all with different qualities and usage. A set is a collection which is unordered, unchangeable, and unindexed. Dictionary. Dictionaries are used to store data values in key-value pairs. A dictionary is a collection which is ordered, changeable, and do not allow duplicates. As of Python version 3.7, dictionaries are ordered. In Python 3.6 and earlier, dictionaries are unordered. Dictionaries are written with curly brackets and have keys and values. Python conditions and if statements. Python supports the usual logical conditions from mathematics. Equals, a equals b. Not equals, a equals b. Less than, a less than b. Less than or equal to, a less than equals b. Greater than, a greater than b. Greater than or equal to, a greater than equals b. These conditions can be used in several ways, most commonly in if statements and loops. An if statement is written by using the if keyword. Python loops. Python has two primitive loop commands, while loops and for loops. The while loop. With the while loop we can execute a set of statements as long as a condition is true. For loops. A for loop is used for iterating over a sequence, that is either a list, a tuple, a dictionary, a set, or a string. This is less like the for keyword in other programming languages, and works more like an iterative method as found in other object-oriented programming languages. With the for loop we can execute a set of statements, once for each item in a list, tuple, set etc. Functions. A function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. You can pass data, known as parameters, into a function. A function can return data as a result. Creating a function. In Python, a function is defined using the def keyword. Python lambda. A lambda function is a small anonymous function. A lambda function can take any number of arguments, but can only have one expression. Python arrays. Python does not have built-in support for arrays, but Python lists can be used instead. Arrays. This page shows you how to use lists as arrays. However, to work with arrays in Python you will have to import a library, like the NumPy library. Arrays are used to store multiple values in one single variable. What is a module? Consider a module to be the same as a code library. A file containing a set of functions you want to include in your application. To create a module, just save the code you want in a file with the file extension py. Python dates. A date in Python is not a data type of its own, but we can import a module named datetime to work with dates as date objects. To create a date, we can use the datetime class constructor of the datetime module. The datetime class requires 3 parameters to create a date: year, month, day. What is pip? Pip is a package manager for Python packages, or modules if you like. What is a package? A package contains all the files you need for a module. Modules are Python code libraries you can include in your project. Check if pip is installed. Navigate your command line to the location of Python script directory, and type the following. Check pip version. Pip version. Python try except. The try block lets you test a block of code for errors. The except block lets you handle the error. The else block lets you execute code when there is no error. The finally block lets you execute code, regardless of the result of the try and except blocks. Exception handling. When an error occurs, or exception as we call it, Python will normally stop and generate an error message. These exceptions can be handled using the try statement. Python string formatting fstring was introduced in Python 3.6, and is now the preferred way of formatting strings. Before Python 3.6 we had to use the format method. Fstring allows you to format selected parts of a string. To specify a string as an fstring, simply put an f in front of the string literal, like this. Placeholders and modifiers. To format values in an fstring, add placeholders. A placeholder can contain variables, operations, functions, and modifiers to format the value. A placeholder can also include a modifier to format the value. A modifier is included by adding a colon, followed by a legal formatting type, like .2f, which means fixed point number with 2 decimals. Python user input. Python allows for user input. That means we are able to ask the user for input. The following example asks for your name, and when you enter a name, it gets printed on the screen. Basic Python interview questions. 1. What is Python, and list some of its key features. Python is a versatile, high-level programming language known for its easy-to-read syntax and broad applications. Here are some of Python's key features. Simple and readable syntax. Python's syntax is clear and straightforward, making it accessible for beginners and efficient for experienced developers. Interpreted language. Python executes code line by line, which helps in debugging and testing. Dynamic typing. Python does not require explicit data type declarations, allowing more flexibility. Extensive libraries and frameworks. Libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and Django expand Python's functionality for specialized tasks in data science, web development, and more. Cross-platform compatibility. Python can run on different operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Though, what are Python lists and tuples? Lists and tuples are fundamental Python data structures with distinct characteristics and use cases. List. Mutable, elements can be changed after creation. Memory usage, consumes more memory. Performance, slower iteration compared to tuples but better for insertion and deletion operations. Methods, offers various built-in methods for manipulation. What is __init__? In Python? The __init__ method is known as a constructor in object-oriented programming (OOP) terminology. It is used to initialize an object state when it is created. This method is automatically called when a new instance of a class is instantiated. Char. What is the difference between a mutable data type and an immutable data type? Mutable data types. Definition. Mutable data types are those that can be modified after their creation. Immutable data types. Definition. Immutable data types are those that cannot be modified after their creation. 5. Explain list, dictionary, and tuple comprehension with an example. List. List comprehension offers one-liner syntax to create a new list based on the values of the existing list. You can use a for loop to replicate the same thing, but it will require you to write multiple lines, and sometimes it can get complex. Dictionary. Similar to a list comprehension, you can create a dictionary based on an existing table with a single line of code. You need to enclose the operation with curly brackets. Tuple. It is a bit different for tuples. You can create tuple comprehension using round brackets, but it will return a generator object, not a tuple comprehension. Che. What is the Global Interpreter lock, GIL, in Python, and why is it important? The Global Interpreter lock, GIL, is a mutex used in CPython, the standard Python interpreter, to prevent multiple native threads from executing Python bytecode simultaneously. It simplifies memory management but limits multi-threading performance for CPU-bound tasks. This makes threading in Python less effective for certain tasks, though it works well for I/O-bound operations. Intermediate Python interview questions 7. Can you explain common searching and graph traversal algorithms in Python? Python has a number of different powerful algorithms for searching and graph traversal, and each one deals with different data structures and solves different problems. Icon them here. Binary search. If you need to quickly find an item in a sorted list, binary search is your go-to. It works by repeatedly dividing the search range in half until the target is found. AVL tree. An AVL tree keeps things balanced, which is a big advantage if you're frequently inserting or deleting items in a tree. This self-balancing binary search tree structure keeps searches fast by making sure the tree never gets too skewed. Breadth first search, BFS. BFS is all about exploring a graph level by level. It's especially useful if you are trying to find the shortest path in an unweighted graph since it checks all possible moves from each node before going deeper. Depth first search, DFS. DFS takes a different approach by exploring as far as it can down each branch before backtracking. It's great for tasks like maze solving or tree traversal. Our algorithm, the A algorithm, is a bit more advanced and combines the best of. Art. What is a key error in Python, and how can you handle it? A key error in Python occurs when you try to access a key that doesn't exist in a dictionary. This error is raised because Python expects every key you look up to be present in the dictionary, and when it isn't, it throws a key error. For example, if you have a dictionary of student scores and try to access a student who isn't in the dictionary, you'll get a key error. To handle this error, you have a few options. Use the .get method. This method returns none, or a specified default value, instead of throwing an error if the key isn't found. Use a try-except block. Wrapping your code in try-except allows you to catch the key error and handle it gracefully. Check for the key within. You can check if a key exists in the dictionary using if key in dictionary before trying to access it. No. How does Python handle memory management, and what role does garbage collection play? Python manages memory allocation and deallocation automatically using a private heap, where all objects and data structures are stored. The memory management process is handled by Python's memory manager, which optimizes memory usage, and the garbage collector, which deals with unused or unreferenced objects to free up memory. Garbage collection in Python uses reference counting as well as a cyclic garbage collector to detect and collect unused data. When an object has no more references, it becomes eligible for garbage collection. The GC module in Python allows you to interact with the garbage collector directly, providing functions to enable or disable garbage collection, as well as to perform manual collection. Thus, what is the difference between shallow copy and deep copy in Python, and when would you use each? In Python, shallow and deep copies are used to duplicate objects, but they handle nested structures differently. Shallow copy. A shallow copy creates a new object but inserts references to the objects found in the original. So, if the original object contains other mutable objects, like lists within lists, the shallow copy will reference the same inner objects. This can lead to unexpected changes if you modify one of those inner objects in either the original or copied structure. You can create a shallow copy using the copy method or the copy module's copy function. Deep copy. A deep copy creates a new object and recursively copies all objects found within the original. This means that even nested structures get duplicated, so changes in one copy don't affect the other. To create a deep copy, you can use the copy module's deep copy function. 11. How can you use Python's collections module to simplify common tasks? The collections module in Python provides specialized data structures like default dict, counter, dec, and order dict to simplify various tasks. For instance, counter is ideal for counting elements in an iterable, while default dict can initialize dictionary values without explicit checks. Advanced Python interview questions 12. What is monkey patching in Python? Monkey patching in Python is a dynamic technique that can change the behavior of the code at runtime. In short, you can modify a class or module at runtime. 13. What is the Python with statement designed for? The with statement is used for exception handling to make code cleaner and simpler. It is generally used for the management of common resources like creating, editing, and saving a file. 14. Why use else in try, except construct in Python? Try and except are commonly known for exceptional handling in Python, so where does else come in handy? Else will be triggered when no exception is raised. 15. What are decorators in Python? Decorators in Python are a design pattern that allows you to add new functionality to an existing object without modifying its structure. They are commonly used to extend the behavior of functions or methods. 16. What are context managers in Python, and how are they implemented? Context managers in Python are used to manage resources, ensuring that they are properly acquired and released. The most common use of context managers is the with statement. 17. What are metaclasses in Python, and how do they differ from regular classes? Metaclasses are classes of classes. They define how classes behave and are created. While regular classes create objects, metaclasses create classes. By using metaclasses, you can modify class definitions, enforce rules, or add functionality during class creation. Python Data Science Interview Questions 18. What are the advantages of NumPy over regular Python lists? Memory. NumPy arrays consume less memory. For example, if you create a list and a NumPy array of 1,000 elements, the list will consume 48k bytes, and the NumPy array will consume 8k bytes of memory. Speed. NumPy arrays take less time to perform the operations on arrays than lists. For example, if we are multiplying two lists and two NumPy arrays of 1 million elements together, it took 0.15 seconds for the list and 0.0059 seconds for the array to operate. Versatilely, NumPy arrays are convenient to use as they offer simple array multiple, addition, and a lot more built-in functionality. Whereas Python lists are incapable of running basic operations.